Alright, so today I want to talk about just saying no, right? Excuse the fit, I'm just about to do some fasted cardio. It's still early, it's still dark. I've woken up, I've just done my push ups and stuff, but I want to record a video now. And last night I saw a couple friends, right? That was nice. And Evian water, drink your water. Got some pink salt in it in the morning for extra hydration. So I saw some friends last night, right? And they were talking about what they're doing tomorrow, right? I'm busy. I say I'm busy. And people know I'm busy. So that is just normally enough for people to be like, all right. But one of my other friends, he was like, oh no, I've got to get this done. And I'm not going to go into specifics, but it's something he wanted to get done. It's one of his goals. It's something he had to get done. And so then everyone's like, oh no, you're going to come and do this thing, this fun thing. It's not like work or anything like that. And then it just kept happening. Oh no, you're going to come do this fun thing. You're going to do that afterwards and stuff. And my friend was like, nah, I want to do this thing that I have to do, this productive thing that I have to do. And after a while, I said to him, because right, let's rewind a bit. A while ago, I watched the film American Psycho. Brilliant film, highly recommend. And I read the book. I found out there was a book. Read the book. Really, really good book. Very brutal in some places, like a little bit macabre, and written slightly strangely. Your brain does go a little bit weird after you read it for a while, but amazing book, probably the best book I've ever read, to be honest, right? And in the book and in the film, there's parts where he says to his assistant, just say no. And that's something that I actually have incorporated into my life since then. So if I don't want to do something, do I need to explain it to you? Or is all that you need to know the fact that I'm not coming? You know? Do I need to explain what I'm doing and the reasons why I'm going to do that as opposed to do the thing you're doing? All you need to know is that I've prioritized the other thing above the thing that you're suggesting. Like at work, quite often, the people go out for lunch and they say, Dan, are you coming? No, quite a lot. I started saying things like probably not or maybe because I realized I was coming across as extremely autistic by just saying no. And I've gone to a few at lunches, but there's sometimes I would rather be in the office and working and getting something done than going out, having lunch and drinking. And like, yeah, I know it's good to socialize with your work colleagues, but I want to get that thing done. And so this is something that I've used. If I've got a priority, like right tomorrow I want to get this done so that I can achieve that, and someone says, "Oh, are you free to do this fun thing?" Sometimes I'll look at the schedule in my brain and go, I could probably reorganize the next day so I could do that fun thing. But normally these fun things have to be planned in advance for me. And so it's always no, I'm busy. And I have no trouble just saying no at all now. And what once I've actually found, when you incorporate just saying no, what can someone say back to that? Like say give an example, um, the work thing. This is just an example now because I can't be bothered to think of another one because I'm tired. It's early. Um, drink your water. Um, yeah. So I'm at work. I'm in the office. Are you coming to lunch? No. There's two things that someone could say. There's three things someone could say to that. Right. One is okay, and then that's it, done. The other one is why not? Right. And the last one is try and coax you on to do it. Right. The first one, okay, they've accepted it. So we'll put three fingers up. Right. The first one, okay, they've accepted it. You're not coming. You've got two left. All right. What was the middle one I said again? Why not? Right. Then we come into my second point. I don't want to. Okay. This is quite. You have to have a certain amount of self-esteem, self-respect, and balls to just say to someone, I don't want to, because it is quite blunt, it's quite abrupt, but you get your point across. Because I'm really tired of the back and forthing of, oh come on, do it. No, I want to get this thing done. Oh come on, and like, if you teeter-totter around it, oh yeah, no, I just don't want to, I think I'd rather get this done and this and that. And I've been there so many times. I'm coming from a point of, I've had these conversations so many times, I'm fed up with them. I would just rather, I know what I want to do, I'm just going to do it. You know, I've been a person who was a bit, I'm a bit afraid to say how I feel, and sometimes I've gone along to something I didn't really want to, or I haven't left somewhere when I've wanted to leave and stuff, because I've been, you know, I've been just a little bit, oh, not people pleasy, but a little bit like, oh, I don't want to offend, and you know, I'll be polite, and oh, I don't want to say, I don't want to come across this way. But now I know what I want in my life. I know what things I want to be prioritizing over other things. So I'm going to be saying it how it is. so okay, they've accepted it. Oh, I can't really, the tendon in your finger won't let you do that. So let's do it the other way around. So let's do it the other way around. So okay, they've accepted it. And the next one was, why not? I don't want to, or I just don't want to, because that puts it across in such a way that, what can you say to that? You can't ask, why don't you want to that, because you just come back with, I just don't want to. Why are you asking me so many questions? And look, I understand I sound like a dickhead saying this, but this is coming from a place of, I'm so self-assured in the things that I want to do with my time that I just don't feel the need to explain to someone else. And it depends the tone of the conversation. If they're just like, oh, well, why? How come you don't want to come? Then I'll say, oh, look, I am prioritizing this piece of work that I'm doing, okay? And it depends who. Because with some people, you'll say that and they'll be like, look, totally understand that, you're prioritizing that. And then with other people, if you give them that, look, I'm just prioritizing this bit of work over that, oh come on, you can do that later and stuff like that. I don't give that person the opportunity to do that to me, because I don't want to give in to that kind of, I don't want to even feel like they've got power over me, because the amount of times I've had to back and forth and just feet firmly on the ground, no. so I just don't want to. It's quite blunt. You sound a bit like a dickhead sometimes, but the point comes across. You can explain yourself further if you want, if it's to the right person, but sometimes they see it as wiggle room if you explain your reason. And they don't realistically need a reason for why you don't want to do something, but why you're prioritizing something else. Do they need, like, I know this makes me come across as like a bit autistic, which I almost definitely am, but do people need a reason to know why you're not coming, why you're not? Sometimes, maybe. But most of the time, I come in tomorrow to this thing, Dan, that I've only just told you about now. No, I'm not. I'm busy. Sometimes, you know, you'll explain what you're doing, but I won't really bother explaining what I'm doing. Sometimes I've reached a point now where I can explain what I'm doing. Oh no, I'm doing this. I'm prioritizing to get this done tomorrow instead of do that. Oh, come along, mate. Delay that. No. I'm not going to. I want to get this done. You know, it means more to me than that. Some, you know, obviously, but this is where I like to plan things in advance. If you plan in with me in advance, then brilliant. I fit it into my schedule and it's all good, and I can fit things around it that I want to get done. You know, so plan in advance. Last minute things, I just say no. Most of the time, and so now it comes to the last one of the three. We've done why not. What was it? Oh God, I'm sorry, I've waffled again and I've forgotten. So, okay, why not? And was the last one something like, I'll go on, come anyway? Where they're trying to make you do it? I feel like I've just covered that off. Where they're going, oh come on, delay that stuff. You know, you say no. I've already covered that off. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sure. If I rewatch this and I did miss out on a third point, my original third point, sorry, but that'll be lost. But I think if I'm remembering correctly, that I did accidentally cover it off in my little waffle there about the previous thing. So, look, just say no. There's a power in just saying no. You don't need to explain yourself most of the time. People just need to know that you're not coming and that you're prioritizing other things. I'm not saying this is what I do every single time in my life, but if I feel like someone is trying to persuade me or coax me to do the thing that they want me to do and abandon my priorities and things that I want to achieve, I just say no. And if someone asks why, I just don't want to. It is simple, it is effective. Don't be afraid to just say no. Don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings. Don't be afraid for people to think. Oh, realistically, look, my best friends, if I just say no, they're like, okay, that's Dan. He doesn't want to come. He's pretty self-assured in himself. He's prioritizing other things. Okay, they accept it for who it is. They're not just thinking badly of me, thinking I'm a dickhead for just saying no. Hopefully, anyway. You know, and you shouldn't surround yourself with people who are going to think, oh, he's such a dickhead because he's assured in himself and knows what he wants to do. If those are people you're hanging around with and you have to like tippy-toe around them, and you can't just say things how they are, you shouldn't be friends with them. You shouldn't be friends with people that you can't be your authentic self with, and they won't respect your establishing of your priorities and the things that you actually want to get done. You need to be with people that respect your priorities and support you and want you to get done these things. You know, that's the people you need to be around. So that's why, to be honest, like I've said previously, I'm really unapologetic. I will say things how they are, because if someone takes offense to it, if someone thinks I'm a dickhead, if someone thinks, oh, you know, I don't like the way he's said or done that, and doesn't, you know, respect me and my character as an individual, like my closest friends would, I don't want you in my life. I don't want you in my life. I only want people in my life that are good people, you know, supporting, motivating, kind, people that I've been with for a long time, my friends, my closest friends. You know, they've been in my life. I care about them. You know, I'm not saying I can't have new friends, but only the right ones. You know, only the right ones, only the right people. And I wouldn't hold my tongue. I wouldn't monitor my tongue to make a new friend, say, or to not make. I don't give a shit about what someone else is thinking of me and the words that come out of my mouth, what that's putting in someone else's brain about me. Because if your perception of me is not positive, I don't care. Because if it's not, then I don't really care about your opinion. I just actually don't care. This is another big side waffle. But don't be afraid of what people are thinking of you for saying no, putting off something that you don't want to do because you're prioritizing not better things, but you've got your priorities sorted already and you don't have time for that, or the things that you have planned are higher priority than the other thing. Don't be afraid of what people might think. You know, you need to become self-assured in yourself that you're doing the right thing for you, and it doesn't really matter what they think. And if they're thinking bad things anyway, whoever it is, then do you actually care? If do you actually care if someone's thinking negatively of you prioritizing good things? If that's what you're doing, which I advise you doing, prioritizing the good things, the things you want to get done, being productive, the things you've already planned, not just like not just stepping over a previous plan that you've made with someone else for something new and better that's come along. You know, have a bit of honor and integrity about it. Stick to the plans you've made. If you make a plan, don't be so quick to just adjust it and put things off. You know, and just say no to yourself as well. In your brain, when you're trying to delay something because you want some instant gratification from some other source, just say no. You, the individual, me, I don't need to be teetering around myself either, or maybe and debating with myself about something. No. Crack on, do the thing I wanted to do. Not fucking around Sometimes, you know, you can sit scrolling on your phone. Oh, do I do this thing I've been wanting to do, or do I do this other thing? And you've wasted an amount of time, a big amount of time that you could have just fucking done both things most of the time. You know, inaction is bad. It's better to just do something and it be actually wrong than to do fuck all, to do nothing. Finite amount of seconds on this earth, don't waste them. Another big rant. Circle back round. Obviously, the purpose of this is just say no. It's been quite obvious. Don't be afraid to just say no. And if they ask why, I just don't want to. Okay? Good. Hope you've enjoyed. If there's anything you want to say about it, let me know. Good or bad, to be honest. On the previous ones I've mentioned, you know, if you've got something negative to say, don't say it. To be honest, if it's constructive criticism, because I rewatched them, right, and I realised I'm wrong. If it's constructive criticism, fire away. I'm grand, because you won't really dent my ego. I don't really give a shit. I don't have a fragile ego, so you can say something to me, and instead of, you know, denting my ego, denting my pride, and me being like a fanny about it, like I would have been in the past, you know, a previous version of myself years ago probably would have been a bit more fragile like that. But now, look, good, nice. Like I said, you know, constructive criticism, brilliant, bring it on. You know, we can learn, we can improve. What I mean is, if you've got just negative bitchy comments, you haven't even watched the full videos, you don't really know me, you're not really trying to understand my point of view, you're just trying to bitch about something just because you've got a sad life and you just want to bitch and moan about something, then don't bother. That's what I mean. Don't bother just trying to include me in your little negative mindset, because I'm not in that. But if you've got some constructive criticism, like, oh well, Dan, it would be better if you did something like this, or, you know what, the way you said this was, I didn't like that because of this, and it's to get, and you want me to improve by it, or rather than just, oh, I want to be heard because I really didn't like the way you said this and it's really offended me and all of this, like, don't bother with that. No. But if it's, look, Dan, the way you said this was a bit disingenuous. Do you not mean this, or have you thought about this? And it's not coming from a place of, oh, well, I'm such a fucking, you know, then fire away. If you're being constructive, fire away, okay? Another little rant. But I wanted to clear that up because I realised that I said it in a way that wasn't quite 100%. It made it sound like I don't want any negative criticism, and that I don't want any kind of negative talk about it, which is like, nah, absolutely not. If you think I could do something better and you're not coming at it from a place of just being negative Nancy, then is that the term, negative Nancy, negative Nanny, negative something, negative Nunu, nah, I don't know what it is. Tell me that in the comments if you want. More water. Drink your water. I would recommend pink salt in the morning for extra hydration. If you've got this far in the video, then you're probably into self-improvement, or you just like the sound of my voice, which would be astonishing because I don't even particularly like it, which is probably going to come as a surprise considering how much I've been waffling and talking. But pink salt in the morning, spring water, mineral water, right? Good for you. Electrolytes, because water without electrolytes is not hydrating. It just, your brain, it tricks your brain into thinking you've had some hydration, but you haven't had any. You need electrolytes. So now I'm going to cut it. I've waffled a lot. I'm sorry. I hope this one hasn't waffled too long. But if you've got this far, look, thank you for watching. I do appreciate anyone who watches. I hope that you get everything out of this that you want to get out of it. I hope that I get the blood pump into the brain, and that, you know, you think a little bit, or, no, I'm not saying I want you to change, but just think a little bit about your life and stuff like that. That's what I want out of this anyway. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let's put the bottle down. Nice one.